So, thank you, Dr. Bruce, for addressing that. Um, I really want us to be able to now understand how is it that our backgrounds, play out in terms as adults, and why it's so important for us to pay attention to how we engage our children. I want us to stop right now. I keep talking about sharing this show, and I'm not sharing this for the purpose of people saying, oh, look, I'm sharing this because I want people to understand that if we don't start to create environments for our children to be successful, that are healthy, that are loving, not that they're not going to have challenges, not that we're not going to have problems and struggles, not that things aren't going to go wrong, but in the midst of all of that is the importance of love to create that environment that, we know that when we go through this, we're going to be in this together.
That's
We're
right.
going to talk about it. We're going to process it
Mm-hmm.
and understand that our frames of references, we have to create positive frames of references for children so that when they grow up, when they think back, they thinking about, Will Smith, he keeps seeing his mother getting beat.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Jada's mother, was to the extent that she was self-proclaimed, she was involved in a lot. So Jada, you don't know what Jada saw.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what, people attacking her. She ain't this. She's got him doing that. Do you know what makes her behave the way that she was behaved? That make her come on international media and tell the world that her man is not performing like she needs him to perform in the bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
What will make her do that? See, we look at the outside, but we don't go deeper. It's called root cause leadership. Stop looking at the surface and what they feed you and focus on the reason for the why. So and then Chris Rock, he was abused and really bullied. So
Yeah.
Dr. Bruce, talk about the bullying and how we accept it and how we
Yeah.
think it's cool and we laugh and we play with it even as adults, but how that impacts our children and the kind of environments we
Yeah.
need to be creating for our children to make something else happen differently.
Yeah. Two things, man. One thing you said is really powerful, man. Is well, the science is called heuristics, right? Heuristics that means it's cognitive shortcuts, right? Well, everything that we've experienced from the womb all the way up, we remember, right? And so trauma becomes anchors, right? So once trauma happens, now you're looking through a lens. You don't even get to go back to everything. Now you're looking at the world through a lens that's past trauma that you haven't healed from. So everything you see, you got to filter through that piece, right? So that's what is that, the idea that they call it fight, flight, or freeze, man. You're walking on eggshells, right? You all the time you're looking to try to avoid the next traumatic experience, and your brain's doing it, and already. So you see the next event, you're trying to avoid. You're looking at it. Okay, you're paranoid, right? That PTSD piece. Same with bullying, man. Like in our community too. I understand that it's not whether or not bullying is going to happen. Bullying is a culture. It is going to happen. And we raise our children to deal with it. And most of the time we raise our children to retaliate real fast against a bully so you don't become a victim, which is a violent act, right? So, like either you retaliate against a bully, sometimes a parent would take their children back down there to fight the bully. And then you're going to fight them right now because they're going to, it's to save them and to stop it from happening, but still a violent act. And we don't understand it, right? We carry that on into our adult lives. And, so that's really how we see the world. So you're right, that bullying piece becomes real and you see it as the next case. Like you say, dang, like, we saw it in the confirmation of the system for Supreme Court. Man, look, like you got to endure, man. You got to endure abuse to be human. And who defends you with that? We expect to be resilient, right? So it's like we're so resilient, right? We're resilient enough to endure the next traumatic experience. Man, it's like, when does the trauma stop? Is the trauma ever going to stop, man? So that's why we say, like, look, like we're looking for triggers to joy, man. And our ancestors fought and died for us to have the right to be excited about tomorrow, man. To know that we are valuable enough to love and be loved, to heal, grow, thrive, and transform, and that we're not going to be extras in our own life movie, right? Because we stars.
Mm. So Doc, you know, as we get ready to wrap, because I know you got to roll. I appreciate you all, you know, sharing. Definitely, you know, your comments. You know, and as I think about it, you just said it. We live in a bully culture. You know, people I don't even know, you know, out the blue, they just don't like you, call you names, you know,
I
for
know.
what? Off the what?
Yeah, right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
what?
yeah.
But that's because that's the culture we live in. But
That's
what
right.
can we
That's right.
do, Dr. Bruce? What can we do to shift that culture? You know, what
Yeah,
can we do to shift that program? Because you pushing the reprogram. How can we
yeah,
reprogram us to stop just jumping on each other for no reason at all, except for the fact that we want to jump on you before you jump on me, or I
mhm,
got an opportunity to attack you, so I'm gonna do it based on what?
yeah. First, we got to unplug. You spoke to it earlier. We got to unplug from toxic programming, right? The we're we always say we are what we eat, right? We are what we hear, we see and hear also, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
we gotta understand the way that we speaking to each other. We did an exercise, man, with brothers and sisters. I told them to look at 9 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at noon, 7 o'clock in the evening, and 10 o'clock at night. Just write down the words that are being spoken that you hear. And people were in tears, man. Like the way we just speak to each other, the words that we use. Like, so what we can do, man, we can start using the love language, right? We say that, really, if we could see a caterpillar as a future butterfly, we would nurture and make that path safe, right? And so we got to see our children as future butterflies and speak to them that way. And that way we'll be excited about their journey, right? And then they're also excited, and we'll protect that path. We gotta see each other's a different way, man. Like we gotta know that we love each other, man. They're trying to convince us that we don't love each other, right? And because we keep seeing episodes of us not loving each other. But that's not the truth, man. Like, love got us through everything, man. Love got us through the Middle Passage. Love got us through slavery in America. Love got us through post Reconstruction Jim Crow. Love got us through the assassination of our leaders. Love got us through the prison to school pipeline. Love got us through the war on drugs, other trauma that occurred. Love is what got us through this, man. So that's what we got to tap into, man. And that's our core self. Because if if we weren't if we weren't loved, man, we couldn't love after all the things that happened to us in this country, man. So we have to know who we are, man, and be excited about the fact that we're the survivors of this trauma, man. So give each other a pass. Give everybody a pass right now, right? However you got here, it's a miracle you made it here. Let's stop judging the past trauma because like we had to survive, haven't we survived, right? Give everybody a pass, man, and let's start loving each other, man. Speaking of love, light, and transformational language.
Hey, well, Dr. Bruce, you know, you said it best. I know you got a role, brother. Thank
Yeah.
you all for joining us and being a part of, you know, the show this morning. We're gonna return with the subject next week because if we don't address love and we don't lead with love, as Dr. Bruce said, what else do we have? You
That's
know,
right.
we're in a situation right now where the world has shown us through military action, through bullying on the political stage, through bullying in the classroom, through bullying in the workplace, through bullying in the street, that we live in a bullied culture.
That's
You
right.
know, I subscribe to two things. One, that this world that we live in, the society has created, number one, a rape culture.
Mhm.
And I say that because if you look at the numbers across the world, and particularly as it applies to the Catholic Church, but not only the Catholic Church, you look at New England schools, private schools, there's a whole uh, slew of documentation and information that's been done on New England private schools and the amount of sexual abuse that takes place in those
Mhm.
schools, right?
Mhm.
It goes untouched.
Yeah.
Primarily, it goes untouched. You know, they
Mhm.
address it every now and then. There's some payouts and some things of that nature, but nobody broke the whole Catholic Church down. They didn't
Mhm.
shut the Vatican down. They didn't take their passports. You know what I'm saying? They didn't freeze their bank accounts.
Mhm.
So at what juncture do you see that?
That's right. That's right.
And the bullying is just another form of that, right?
Mhm.
And so we've accepted it and we embrace it. We've
Mhm.
embraced it by virtue of what you see.
That's right.
So we have to reverse that, and we got to lead it with love.
Yeah.
You can lead it with all, what else is breaking it? What else is bringing us through?
Yeah.
And so, we subscribe that create positive frames of reference for your children. Pay
Yeah.
attention to what it is that they're watching, what you're watching. You are what you eat. You are what you watch.
That's right. That's right.
It becomes a part of who we are and how we deal with it. So that reflection of what you see play out on stage for all of those components, pray, push love, stop pointing the finger, start looking for ways to be able to engage people and put that love into that space. So,
Mm-hmm.
Doc, I know you got to roll. I appreciate you being with us, King. We're going to circle back. Are you available next week to circle back with us?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yep.
No doubt, no doubt. So, H5, brother, what say you with regard to how we move forward, man, and all the many spaces that you in with regard to the importance and significance of creating loving spaces for our children as they move forward?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got to move it, baby. It's time to roll. But I appreciate y'all joining us, and I appreciate you looking beyond the surface. You got to go deeper and be root cause leaders and not just focus on what they present to you, but go beyond the curtain and think about what it is that people are going through based on what you see them project at the end of the day. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you next Friday morning on the Peace of the Morning show. And thank you for joining us. All of you all that are out there tuning in right now. Make sure you share it. We love you. And make sure you keep that moving to the next level. Darius A Stanton and DJ5starr saying peace in the morning and keep on pushing that peace and love.